after a 2020 that was unprecedented. BYU Athletic Director Tom Holmoe is the reigning Athletic Director of the Year after what he pulled off last season, putting an 11-game schedule together after everything else went away, and he is with us here in Las Vegas. Finally, take a breath. Welcome to the big time.
Vegas. Here we are. We love Vegas, and Vegas has been a second home for us, so it feels good to be back. Feels warm, a warm welcome. I think it was 106 when I got out of the car.
I think you're right. Cougar Nation is filing in. They're right behind you as they head to their seats. This has become everything you had hoped it would become as far as fan support to get down here.
Yeah, it's just amazing. The other night we had a fan fest, and it exceeded everybody's expectations. And then driving in, everybody's out here early. The Royal, everybody's got Royal on, and it's a family reunion for BYU. Not just football, athletics, BYU, the university, everybody. It's a fun fest.
We've been taking guesses on how many we think are going to be BYU fans in the stadium tonight of the 60,000 plus sold. I mean, do you have an understanding of what it is and can give us a number?
I know there's a lot of them, but I'm really only concerned about the 73 that are on the field tonight.
Well said. All right, in the local paper today, it announced BYU Notre Dame would be back here next year. I know you have a lot to say, but won't say it till contracts are signed. But this tonight is a setting that the brand is out front and center, and big-time events are coming.
Everybody knows that Notre Dame and BYU have a game coming up sometime in the millennium. And it's going to happen when it happens, and there's nothing done, and somehow things came out a little bit, but nothing's done. And when that time comes, it'll be a great game, and we've waited patiently so we can wait a little longer.
College football fans woke up today watching game day and hearing the reference when it came to BYU, the newest member of the Big 12 from Reese Davis, the host of the program. Every national writer is now writing that BYU's going to the Big 12. There is so many complications and a lot to do with a team joining a conference. But where is BYU in regards to the Big 12 tonight?
Hey, I love that everybody's talking about BYU this week, and we have a big game here tonight. I think I've said it. If I've said it once, I've said it 300 times over the last 17 years. We're going to put ourselves in a position where we have our student athletes being able to play against the very best athletes and teams in the country. And when we were in the Mountain West, we tried everything we could to play non-conference games and the really good teams in the conference. And then when we went independent, we expanded that quest, and we've continued to grow. And now we're at a spot right now where we just keep trying to keep that quest alive. And so we'll see what happens. I just want to make sure that we take care of business tonight. There's a lot going on, but that's what I'll say on this tonight.
And one thing's different from 2016, 2015 is that so much of it was coming from BYU's end that, hey, we're a worthy candidate for such and such a league. This time it's different. The Big 12 needs teams to stay alive. And so you're answering the phone as opposed to making the phone call. What kind of a role swap is that?
What do you think about that, David?
Hey, I already told these guys, grew up in Texas. I'm all for the Big 12, so just make it happen, Tom. Just make it happen.
So I'll ask you a follow-up to Dave's then, that maybe you can answer, and that is, you made a lot of progress. The league, the Big 12, certainly is familiar with the BYU brand and all that it has to offer, because we were in that process back then. Everybody knows that, right? So if it does come to that, does the fact that we've already had a relationship with all of those folks and presented things back at 15, 16, will that help when it comes to that?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I really are going to refer back to when Kalani started, and even before that. There were times when some people wondered what we're going to do and how's this work, and the only thing that we could really do that would help us was to get better. And I think right now you can feel the energy of what Kalani and his staff and his players, those that have already matriculated and finished up their eligibility, and those that are here right now, we've gotten better. We're a better football program. We're a better athletic department than we were a number of years ago. And that's our goal. That's every one of yours. You guys played, you know that. Every year we were here, we wanted to get better. And I'm happy for the guys that made it happen. And this tonight is another opportunity for us to continue to climb.
Earlier this week, you announced the extension of Coach Sitake's contract through 2025. I have an idea what you're going to say, but why'd you do it?
Because he's our coach, and we want to make sure that he's around these young men and he helps to continue to develop them. When you see what he's created, this connection, and the culture that's around this football program. It's not only that the football players believe in him, but Cougar Nation believes in him. And it's hard to have a whole fan base across the country that gets behind your coach like they do with Kalani. It's very hard to do that. Oh, I like this guy. I like what he does here, but not here. But right now, we're in a position where Kalani has really made believers of his players, and the fans believe in him. So that's why we did it.
Speaking of coaches, earlier this week, the Seahawks announcing that Mike Holmgren's going to go in their Ring of Honor on Halloween, October 31st. A great honor for an offensive wizard.
Yes, I remember. It's so fun to remember Mike being a coach at BYU. And then, for those of you that don't know, he went to the 49ers and was, Montana's coach for a few years there. So I followed him along, and to see him be a Ring of Honor and eventual possible Hall of Famer for his Super Bowl wins, it's something special. And, there's something about this BYU football program that produces good dudes.
Yeah, the quarterback of the Jets is here, visiting with the team today, speaking of good dudes.
Well, that's good. He's a good dude.
What about this venue? Speaking of the NFL and Holmgren, now let's shift to the Raiders and this place that is your home away from home now.
Yes, I really love this place. It seems like every year that we come into a new NFL venue, they each one up each other, and there's something new in the venue that really just is just aces. I gotta say that it's just beautiful, and it's one of our desires that we can play in these games, and it's a tribute to our fans and our teams that these people will call us and say, you want to play? We got a big venue. It's an NFL venue. We want you to be there.
Tom, we spent time in practice last week together, and we were talking about this team in particular, and we were going through the players and the roster. Talk to the fans about your expectations of this team. We talked about the talent that's out there. What are your vibes? What are you feeling with these guys out there right now?
Yeah, I feel good about these guys because a lot of them are back and they have experience. This team is deeper than maybe some of our teams in the past. We lost a lot of key players, a lot of great production. But I think the thing that I'm looking for, my expectations for tonight, that they're united. This is the first game of the season. We're playing a team in Arizona that this coaching staff wasn't here last year, so you got to extrapolate and see where these coaches coached and how they did there and what are they going to do tonight. And we got to be tight together so that we can adapt and transition through the various trials that will come in this game.
All right, Tom Holmoe, enjoy the game and the days ahead. This is indeed, we're in rare air for BYU football, but it starts tonight.
Let's go. Go Cougs. Thanks, guys.
Tom Holmoe.